Hey guys, and welcome to another video, and here I will be showing you guys how to actually play chess, because I've realized that a lot of people that watch my videos aren't actually sure how to play, judging by how they respond, or even some people that I know want to learn it. So I'm going to teach you guys how to play on lichess.org. If you want to do it for yourself, you create an account. It's completely free. And you go to learn, hover over learn, chess basics. So we're going to learn how to move all the pieces. And afterwards, I recommend that you also try this. You should also try these, all of these. These teach you a bunch of other things you can do. And then afterwards, you can go to learn and practice. Or if you're already in the chess basics, below it says practice. There are videos, there are play against the computer, play against people from all around the world. And once you've done practice and play against machines, you should do puzzles. They're very good for you. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. So, the rook. The rook moves in straight lines, as you can see. The rook can move here. The rook can move here. The rook can move here. The rook can move to any square on this line, on this line, on this line. Once the rook moves, if you want to get to this square, you can't drag the rook to that square. You have to go here and then here. Oh, my apologies. I meant to click this square. So if you want to go this square, you go down and now here. It might take more than one move since this rook does not go diagonally. Now let us take this. Now let's say we are on this square. We want to get to the star. We have gotten to the star. Now we want to get to both of these stars. We can't get them in one. We can't get that one right now. So instead we'll take this one and then this one with the tempo. Now we could take the star first and then take this star here and then go here and take this star. But that wastes a move. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. This is 1, 2, 3 moves. 1, 2, and 3. Now here, what is the fastest way to do this? So if we take this star and then this star, we can no longer take these stars in one move. Per move. So now if we take this star and then this star, we can no longer take that star in one move. So the only option is taking this star. Now we can take this star. Now we can go here and take this star. And we have taken all of them in the smallest amount of moves possible. Now for this one, we have 2 rooks, and we're going to use both of them. With this one, we can go here, 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 takes. We can take those pieces, or we can use this rook to take these pieces, and this rook to take these pieces. Now let us try this again. So if we go takes, then we can go takes, 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 and now takes, takes. Let's try this. Takes, 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 and takes. Now we have finished the rook. Now let us move on to the bishop. The bishop moves diagonally, as you can see. The bishop can move here, 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 as many squares as it wants on a diagonal. So very similar to a rook, but only diagonally. Rooks go straight, bishops go diagonally. So here, 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 takes. We could have obviously taken right away, but I just want to demonstrate how the bishop moves. So here, fastest way possible. Takes, 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 takes. Fastest way possible. If we take this and then we take this, well, we're losing a move in development, because after this, the bishop goes here or here, here or here, and there's nothing it points at. And if we take this and then this, it's going to take at least an extra move to get there. The fastest way by far is first taking here, then here, takes, and... Oh. Apparently I made a mistake. Interesting. Takes. Okay, I see the move now. I'm sorry. I assumed that these two were positioned exactly like this without looking at it. So here we take, and take. And now we finished like that. Now let's try this. Takes. Here, we have a dark squared bishop and a light squared bishop. These are how they are usually positioned in the games. There's a dark squared bishop, no matter what it does, it can never go to a white square. It can only go to the brown. It can only be on the black ones. Now, this light squared bishop can never go on the black squares. No matter what, it will always be on the light squares. That's why we call this one the light squared bishop and this one the dark squared bishop. So here, take, and take. And now, since these are on light squares, we cannot take with this bishop. With this bishop, though, we can. Now, finally, so these are the ones that are on dark squares, which means that it is this bishop that will take them. So I believe that if we take here, and then here, and then here, we lose tempo. If we take here and then here, we lose tempo because this one's hanging. Now, takes, and takes is the fastest way. Now, oh, my apologies. Let's pretend it was here. So I want you guys to try and figure out what's the fastest way to take it. So the fastest way for this light squared bishop to take all of these is takes, and takes. Let us try to learn with the queen now. So the queen is the same thing as the rook and the bishop. The queen can go on every single diagonal. Any diagonal. As many squares as it wants to. And it can also move straight as many as it wants to, like a rook. The interesting thing here, though, is you might think this is a bishop, right? This is acting like a light squared bishop, right? It's on a light square, so it can't take these. How is it can take? Remember, the rook. We can do this and take. Or, if we're here, for example, we can also go here. And then now this is a dark squared bishop. This can act like a dark squared bishop. Takes. Now let's try this again. I believe the fastest way is takes diagonally, and takes. Oh, I messed up. Let us retry that. I accidentally let go too soon. Takes, and takes. This is why I don't use Lichess that much. I prefer chess.com. It's more official. It sounds better. I just like it. So this one is very interesting. So I've already figured out the fastest way to do this, but I want you guys to pause the video, take a couple minutes to try and figure this one out. Excuse me, it's very late here where I am right now. And I just was working on the thumbnail and it takes a while. So what I think is the fastest way is takes. There are many ways to do this. You can take. No, I think there's only one. Yeah, there's only one. Takes. And now, I'll just describe it. Takes. Now, you have to take this one. The reason is because if you take this one, then you can take this one, but how are you going to get to this one? Or, okay, here and here. Now, how are you going to get to these two in one move? Here, you can go to this one instantly. And now you are taking both. Now, if we go here, I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to try and figure this one out. Okay. The way to do this is... Actually, I haven't figured that out yet. Okay. Okay, I see it. Takes. 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 And takes. That was an extremely hard one. I actually messed up at first because I forgot that I just can't take these two if I've taken all of these and this one. These two I can't take because this one is pointing nowhere. This one is the only one that's pointing anywhere. So if you're one of the people that actually solved the puzzle, congratulations. If you went here, if you thought going here, the reason you can't go here is because takes, and now you have to take these somehow. Here, takes, and takes. That's 2 stars, not 3, which means that's not the fastest way. Here, we have another seemingly insanely difficult puzzle. I'm going to just pause the video and try and figure this one out. I am going to try and figure this one out as well. Okay, so I have figured this one out, I believe. Maybe not. Okay, I figured this one out. So it's takes, 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 and takes. So again, that one was an insanely difficult one, and for those of you who solved it, congratulations. You are very good at this. I would recommend for those of you who didn't to repeat it, but don't feel bad if you didn't solve it. This was an extremely difficult puzzle. As you could see, it even took me a couple minutes to figure it out. Not minutes, like probably like 30 seconds, but still. I'm much more advanced than the people who need to see this video, who don't know how to play chess and actually want to learn. I will provide the link in the description below to lichess.org and how to play. So the king is the most important piece, as you can see over here. The king, well, that's a very descriptive way of explaining it. So the king can move anywhere. It can move here, 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 in any direction. So very similar to a queen, except the queen can move as many squares as it wants in any direction, while the king can only move 1 square. So the queen could go here, as well as the light squared bishop. You can go only here. Here. That's why the king is the weakest piece in the game, but it's the most important. So, what is the fastest way to take these stars? Well, it's obviously take. For those of you who've actually been paying attention, you should have been able to see that. If you haven't been paying attention, then that's fine. I believe that this is also the fastest way to get all the stars. Yes, it was. This is just teaching you to keep in your mind that it is the most important piece, but it is also the least powerful. So, and with other pieces, you might have been able to take all those stars very quickly. But with this one, it took longer. Now, the knight is the hardest piece to learn. The knight moves in an L shape, and it can jump over other pieces. So, the knight can move L. So, in Rush, if you're someone who's Russian, it's a G. English, L. Here and here. That's an L shape, right? The L is this. That's the lowercase L, and this is the uppercase. See? This is the L. Now, it does, to get to the square, it doesn't necessarily have to go like that. It could also go like this. It doesn't matter. It's going to go there regardless. But the way you think about it, here and here, or here and here, don't think about it that way. Just think about it as it can jump over the squares. It can go here. It can go here, 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 here. Just think about the way it can go and try to memorize it. Try to just find a random square on the board here and try to get there. So our goal is here, so we're going to go here, and here. The reason is we were here, right? So if you still need the L shape, here it is. So L. So either this L or this L, whichever one you prefer. And now this L or this L. Now, of course, from the beginning, we could have just taken and taken. I only got 1 star there. The fastest way is just taking and taking. But I just want to demonstrate something. So here we can take. Another way, if it's hard for you to remember, at beginner level, I would recommend clicking on the knight. If you play on chess.com or Lichess, it doesn't really matter where you play. It should show you these little dots, which show you where you can move with the knight. If you're not sure, try to do it without them. But if you do need them, that's fine. Chess.com, maybe if it doesn't offer it, maybe you have to do like enable something specific. So the fastest way takes. Is that the fastest way? No. Interesting. Well, let me try this again. Oh, okay, I see it now. Takes. So if this was a piece, this is just a star, just a demonstration thing. But if this was if these were actual pieces, you could jump over them. Normal pieces can't go through others. Like, this is blocking it, so it's only looking at that. So knights are different. Takes. Now here, we have takes. And try and figure this one out on your own. So pause the video and figure it out. So I'm going to try this. My approach, I believe, was wrong. Let me attempt this again. Take. Yes. For those of you who solved that faster than I did, congratulations. You are very good at moving the knight, and you can see things very well. At first, it's hard to see moves ahead, but like this, you'll learn. Oh, my apologies. So we just learned the knight, so now let us move to the pawn. So the pawn is this. It just moves forward. It cannot go here. It can only go up. But the interesting thing is when it gets to the end of the board. So this pawn starts on this square. If the pawn gets to the other end of the board, and the same thing for black. If black's pawns start here, if any of their pawns get to this square, and any of your pawns get to that square, it doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be this and this square in particular. Just any square along here for the white ones and any square along here for the black ones. It can become any other piece in the game other than the king. It can become a queen, a knight, a rook, or a bishop. Most of the time, I guarantee you, unless your rating is like 2,000 or even higher, you will never need to promote to anything other than the knight unless you're playing the Albin's counter gambit to the queen's gambit. Because the queen is just the most powerful piece by far. So, queen, and now you can take the pawn. That is the fastest way. Now this pawn, so the interesting thing is, here we could do queen, but here, the fastest way to take all these pieces, in a game you would do a queen, but here, the fastest way to take all these pieces, what moves in an L shape? The knight. Now, knight. So, that was very weird. Allow me to fix this. So now what we do is we push this pawn. Pawns, push forward. But the interesting thing is they cannot never move diagonally, right? So if we restart this, they cannot go here. They cannot go here. They cannot go here. Not go here. But what they can do is they can take diagonally. Mind you, they can take like this, but they can't take this diagonally, or they can't go there. They can't go diagonally normally, only when they take. Here, only when they take. Only when they take. Here, let us try this again. I believe that it was the fastest way. You didn't even have to promote to a queen there. A rook would have been fine, but as I said, in a real game, you would like almost all the time promote to a, So the interesting thing is, if you're here, yeah, it's failed. But the reason you're here and fail because you cannot go up anymore. This piece blocks you. You cannot take forward. You can only take diagonally. So it's like a baby version of the rook and the bishop. The rook moves up as many by one square, but the bishop moves diagonally. This can only take one diagonally. So if we try normally, take, queen. So that is the fastest way, yes. So here with many pieces, what I would recommend is takes, and not takes, sorry, moves up and takes. So the most interesting thing about the pawn is in the first move, you might think, okay, let's go here to push the pawn to the end of the board. So your goal in a regular game shouldn't be to do that. Your goal in a regular game should just be checkmate. But in the end game, when all of your pieces are traded off, or you only have a rook, each of you only has a rook, only then do you actually try to get a pawn promoted, right? So the interesting thing about this is when the pawns start off, they start off on this line. So for their first move, they can move 2 up. So they can go 1 up, obviously, or they can go 2 up. Right now, after the 2 up, they can never again go 2 up. Always 1 up. Now, if they decide to go here, you cannot go 2 up later. You can only go 1 up over and over and over again. The 2 up is only when you're on this square. Only as the first move for the pawn, you can go 2 up only for the first move of this pawn. So let us attempt this and takes. Now takes, up, takes. Oh, I made a mistake. So using what we just learned, takes. Now we go 2 up and takes. Now we go 2 up and takes. Now we go 2 up and takes. We have officially finished learning all of these, how the chess pieces move. Now let us try to learn the fundamentals. I think we have enough time to learn how to capture and how to protect the pieces. Once we learn these two, that's going to be it for the video. We're going to learn the other 4 and the intermediate ones and the advanced ones in the next video. Maybe we'll have to split it because they're harder now. Remember, if you don't want to wait, if you just want to do all of this now, link in the description, lichess.org. Make your own free account. The only way you actually lose or make money is if you win a tournament that offers money for it. You could win a couple $100, or if you donate money, that's the only way you could lose any money. So other than that, it's completely free. So let us try capture. So capture, you may notice that this looks different. How are you going to take? This is the rook. We learned how the rook moves. If you don't remember how it moves, you can always just click it and it shows you where it can go. And now you should remember, it goes straight lines anywhere. Now, these are pawns. These are what we learned, except these are the black pawns. So white can never take their own pieces. White can never take a white piece. Black can never take a black piece. White can only take a black piece, and black can only take a white piece. Takes. This is capture. Now, so if you don't understand these lines, let me explain. So this yellow one over here, This one, it means that this is what the rook is defending the pawn. So now, if we take, the rook takes our queen. This is different from before, because before we were using stars, and the stars wouldn't move. That's why this is different. Takes and takes. This is what would happen in a regular game. Now, here, what would happen in this position is the pawn would have to go up 1 or 2. Those are the only possible moves. But then again, in a regular game, your opponent would still have a king. So let us just take this pawn now. So now let us try this again. So if we take this pawn, can we take it? Yes, we can. But what happen? But first, you have to think, what happens if you take it? If you take it, this rook can take. Another thing is, if you take it, this rook can take. It doesn't have to be. Both of these rooks are protecting this pawn. Which protecting means if you take, they take. Now, this rook is not protected by anything. Take. Now, if we go, obviously, if we go here, we can be taken by the rook. Here and rook. So if we go here, my apologies. If we go here, where is it? Here. Wait, what? Apparently control no longer does red things. Is it shift? Oh, so they changed it. So now it's shift. So if we go here, then not a rook takes. So we have to take the rook first. We cannot take this pawn because the rook is protecting it. So take. So now, how do we take these pieces? We cannot take this pawn. The reason is because takes and pawn takes. Remember, the pawns take diagonally. Now, if we went here and here, this pawn cannot take us because it does not take forward. Remember that. This pawn actually cannot move now because it is blocked by our queen. So, the way to do this is here. Oh, my apologies. I forgot that the knight is protecting it. The way to do this here is here, take, here, take. 3 stars. So remember, feel free to take as much time as you need to figure each and every one of them out on your own. This is the way you do it. That was how to capture. Now, protection. Remember, the black pieces can also capture us. So, for example, if we do this, we lose because obviously this bishop could have just taken our pawn, but instead, the smart thing to do was this rook is worth a lot more than this pawn. This rook is so powerful; it controls so many diagonals. For those of you who want me to simplify, to explain which pieces are valuable and which pieces are less valuable, just understand they're not really. It's not so much value; it's power. So the rook is worth 5 points. The queen is worth 9 points. The king doesn't have a score. It's the most powerful. Not the most powerful, but if you lose it, you're dead. The pawn is 1. The bishop and knight, this bishop and the horse, the knight, they're both worth 3 points. But sometimes the bishop is better than the knight, so you have to be careful here. So if we go here, bishop takes. So the only way to save it is here. If you thought that we could go pawn here to stop it, bishop takes. And now we're under attack again. Now we could obviously move it here now, but we just lost the pawn, and we don't like to lose things. So let us try to protect. So what is under attack? Our knight. Okay. So this queen is controlling all of these squares. Oh. Remember, so the queen cannot move like the knight, so it cannot jump here. So these are all the pieces, the places that the queen is controlling. Now, if you look at the knight can go here, 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 here. So all of these moves are bad because they get taken. The queen takes them all. Here, though, the queen cannot take. Again, here the queen cannot take. Here the queen cannot take. Eventually, the queen will win your knight, but at the moment, how to keep it safe. So here, you're under attack. But the thing is that you can only move it to these squares. Only these squares. And all of them lead to the queen capturing it. Here takes. Sorry, here takes. Here takes. Now what do? Do you attack the queen? No, because queen takes knight. Sorry, rook. Do we attack it here? Is this square before you attack a piece, you have to check what is under attack. This is under attack, so this makes the most sense because it defends and attacks, but it's not defended, so the rook can just be taken. If there was a bishop over here or here, then this would be defended. But currently there's nothing defending it, and here you just lose the rook or the knight, most likely the rook. So you have to defend the piece that's under attack. This piece is about to be taken. And since you can't move it, you have to move a different piece to defend it. The rook can go here and defends it. Here, the most interesting thing in an endgame is you can move this bishop no matter where you want, but he takes the pawn. You can move, but the pawn can only go one square. Now this pawn is defending the bishop. So here, this pawn is defending the bishop, and the bishop is defending the pawn. It's a trade. Bishop defends pawn, pawn defends bishop. Now here, this rook is under attack. So if we just play this, for example, queen take. Sorry, not queen. Bishop takes. If we decide to move the rook up to the line, no, that doesn't work. Rook takes, rook. Now, if we try to block like this, the bishop takes, the bishop takes, the bishop or rook even takes. I would take with, actually that's the best move, I guess. So the best move for white, the best move I meant, here to take, after this, here takes, this is the best move for black, not white. So the best move here is here. You know why? Let us review this. So the reason is because, as it shows here, the bishop cannot take. If the bishop decides to take, our knight is looking at the square, which means if there's another piece on the square, it cannot be taken because the knight can take. So this square is under attack. Now, we use a very similar concept. We cannot move this because moves takes. And if you don't believe that it's under attack, we move this pawn, bishop takes. So what we're going to do is we're going to defend with the knight. Very similar concept. Last time it was the pawn, but this time it's the knight. Now here, first we have to identify which piece is under attack. Is this piece under attack? No, it's defended. Is this piece under attack? No, it's defended by the pawn. Is this piece under attack? At first it looks like yes, but you forget there's a bishop. This piece is not the one under attack. This is the piece under attack. The bishop on b2. So rook is attacking the bishop. So you can move it. You can move it. So a bunch of places. Move it here though. The queen takes. You can move it here, or if you decide to redo that, you can move it here. Now, an alternative is, instead of moving the bishop, using a method we just learned, defend with the knight. The knight will be under attack though in the next move. So the reason you don't defend with the knight is because in the next move, your knight will be under attack. And yeah, you can go here, but your opponent can sacrifice a couple pieces. So this I would not recommend, because if it's attacked, it's not. So let's say your knight is here. If the queen goes to d5, which is this square, your knight is under attack. And if you move your knight here, for example, afterwards, see L and L here, because it's defended by the pawn, the bishop is taken. And if you don't move your knight, the knight is taken. In this position particularly, if you go here and then queen goes there, you can just do this with the rook. But normally, I would recommend against this. So now, is this piece under attack? This piece is not under attack because the bishop protects it. Now, is this piece under attack? No, because the rook protects it as well as the bishop. Now, is this piece under attack. What defends it? The knight defends it. And the knight is defended by these two pieces. But the thing is that the queen can only go these ways, right? Only diagonally. Only diagonally. Oh, my apologies. Only diagonally. My apologies, diagonally and straight. So, as you can see, in these lines that I just drew, these are all the directions the queen can go to. This pawn is not on one of them. So this pawn is not the one under attack. What is the one piece that we haven't discussed? The bishop is under attack by the queen. So there are multiple ways here to defend. We could obviously move it out of danger. We could move it here. Here's correct. If we go back though, I think this was it. If we move it here, the reason it's wrong is because now we deflect. Now, if we move it here, our bishop is no longer on the square, right? So the queen can take it. It can take our knight. Or, sorry, rook. Here the bishop is protecting it, but here it's not. You understand? Here the bishop is looking at this square. So that's why this is right. This is also right. It moves back, but it's still on this diagonal, which protects the rook. So this is right. Now this is also right. So again, these two are wrong. This one and this one is wrong because the rook can be taken. Now, we don't have to worry about this knight, about moving our bishop off the knight. The reason is because, again, what protects the knight? The rook. So if we go here, the queen cannot take the knight because then the rook takes the queen. So another way you can defend it is by moving the knight to cover. If you saw that, congratulations. So we are 37 minutes into this, and I think that in 40 minutes, you learned to do a lot of things. You learned to move the pieces. You learned to protect and capture them. If you want to learn more of these, again, link in the description below. Subscribe and like the video. Turn on notifications. If you don't want to miss out on these combat, check in one, out of check, mate in one, board setup, castling, en passant is a very interesting one. I always forget about it personally. Stalemates, more advanced ones. If you want to learn all of these, and also strategies, which I will review. If you want to learn to do puzzles and other things, just subscribe, again, turn on the notifications, and you will be notified when another video comes out. So, next video, we're going to be learning everything that we haven't learned, as many as we can. If we can't finish everything, then we're going to do as much as we can. So, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great time. Enjoy.